Welcome to Goodnight Book with Erica and Nate.
Has the Grizzly Man not taught us anything?
I would say maybe not.
It's a new generation. They don't know.
They need a, who's the Grizzly Man for this generation?
Yeah. Who's the alligator crocodile hunter?
Who's the
for this
Pepsi free? Who is the voice of the new generation? Was that Pepsi?
Yeah, I think
the
so.
Taste for it? What was it? Was it the voice of a new generation?
No, that was Barbra Streisand.
Okay. You're really going through your Rolodex there. I saw it happen on video. You could have seen that. She was like, think of a person who's famous. Streisand. Gotta go Streisand.
No, I actually have that in my Rolodex under.
Oh, really? Oh, do you have a number?
Voice.
You have Bab's number?
Yeah. No, I just have them like categorized. I don't have her contact information, but my Rolodex is really good for things like that.
Do you have anywhere in there about the fact that she has a mall in her basement?
No.
That she has like her clothing set up like a mall, like her closet stuff set up like a mall where she could go shopping.
Oh my God.
That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true.
Oh my God, I love
she's
that.
Not even in my Rolodex.
She's not even in your Rolodex.
No, we didn't see eye to eye on a couple of things. She's pretty tall. So I guess, but this is about a polar bear, you know.
It's different. Yeah, let's be clear. Yeah.
Let's be very clear. I learned a fact yesterday that grizzly bears are just brown bears.
I know, there's not really like. Yeah. That's the entomological description. When you're in the field, how to identify a grizzly. Is it brown? Check. Is it looking at you askance? Check.
Here's looking at you, kid. Yeah, so the book we're talking about this week, obviously, is There's a Bear in My Chair by Phil Collins. No, sorry, it's not Phil Collins. It's actually Genesis. No, it's Ross Collins. It's Ross Collins. He wrote this masterpiece. He's the one that found one page of a rhyming dictionary.
Exactly. Yes. It's one of my highlights / questions. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, bear. Hey, that could work in the title too. Bear, chair. Okay. I like where this is going.
Yep. I'm going to sit down with a...
Okay. With a... What?
I don't know.
That's a cognac. That's a,
can't come up with words.
Barbra Streisand. With a nice Streisand record.
All the things that rhyme with hair. I mean bear. I mean
Streisand. Bar. Do you... What rhymes with Streisand? Pies and... That's all. Eric, you want to do your synopsis?
I do. A mouse does everything he can think of to dislodge a smug polar bear from his chair. And he only wins when he seeks true detachment and naps.
Deep.
Yeah,
deep.
I think it's a deep book.
This sounded like that was a bit of a haiku. It like turned into a haiku at the end.
I know. I got some of the rhyme in there.
So then my synopsis is as follows. A polar bear monopolizes a small chair that the mouse it belongs to. That doesn't make any sense either.
I don't know.
A polar bear monopolizes a small chair, and the mouse it belongs to really wants to get it back. But the bear pays the price when the mouse exacts his revenge.
Worked out. Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard to read though.
I
should have done an edit on that. I mean, I should read these out loud.
We got to practice before we do this. Okay.
I spend like an hour and a half prepping for these. Like, so and that's how I came
So
up
what's
from it.
another 5 minutes reading out loud?
Well, I just
Oh.
ran out of time. I just got so interested in that grizzly bear situation.
Yeah, I think this is one of those that we probably do. You have it in front of you?
Yeah, I do.
I feel like we have to can you read like a few lines just to set the tone for what this book is like?
Sure, and I'll also tell you this will be great because I do a voice for the
Oh,
mouse.
that's great. Okay.
And
I
I've
wondered.
realized I think it's not British, but it's not British. So I think the mouse is Kelsey Grammer a bit. I think that's what I was going for. I think that's what's happening. There's a bear on my chair. He's so big, it's hard to share. There isn't any room to spare. We do not make a happy pair, a mouse and bear, with just one chair. When I give him a nasty glare, he seems completely unaware. I don't know what he's doing there, that bear who's sitting on my chair. Yeah, that's about it.
Oh,
And it
that's
goes on from
perfect.
there and keeps doing
That's
that.
really good. Yeah, the flair is nice. I mean,
have to
literally,
say-
this guy just sat down and was like, "What are all the things that rhyme with bear?"
Yeah, that's not a bad
construct a
choice,
book around it.
really. And
Well,
I feel
I mean,
like
it's like
in a way,
strong.
it's like it is also reads as like the another universe's Green Eggs and Ham.
Mm-hmm.
It has a very
Mm.
similar thing to it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just one rhyme, and it actually uses all like real words and stuff, which I appreciate. There is one word in this book that I change since Wes can't read.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it was I don't like how it's worded.
Oh.
And it is. Or it's a missed opportunity to use a good word in the middle of a sentence. Okay, so I must admit he has some flair. He has fine taste in leisure wear. I'm fond of how he does his hair. Right there I say styles his hair because I think it sounds better.
Oh yeah, that's
Anyway,
good.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
totally. Because styles also indicates like a much higher investment in what you're
Yes.
doing to your hair than does. Mm.
Yeah, I like it better. And Wes has never said anything one way or the other about that particular line. Her main focus is the underwear part, where he jumps out in his underwear. She
Yeah.
is very fond of that, and she's like, he's not wearing underwear any other time,
Oh, very
I'm like,
good,
yeah.
kiddo. Yeah.
just a sweater. He's Donald
Yeah,
Duck in
it's
it.
like a Pooh Bear.
Mhm.
Oh, actually, that brings me to one of my questions for you.
Uh-huh.
What bear are you scared of the most? And it can be a real bear or a fictional bear.
I think it's Toy Story 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's
The
pretty
daycare
gnarly-
bears.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
one that's
mhm.
because it's so haunting about him is that he seems so nice, and then isn't like that.
Yeah,
Wes,
he's
Wes
the
had a
real.
really hard time with that, and like as we went through
Oh.
that, I was like, yeah, like this is a tricky bear. Like that's
Yeah.
the worst. When you can spot monsters, it's like, okay, like a normal
Exactly.
bear. I don't have any problem with most actual bears because it's like they're just being bears.
Exactly.
So I can't really find fault in that. What other fictional bears? I like Winnie pretty well.
Yeah. You're right. That
Wait,
bear.
did you say favorite or least favorite? I'm most
No,
scared of.
Scared of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh.
Mhm.
He's my favorite.
scared of
but he's
what-
also,
oh.
I'm scared of how much I love him.
Yeah, it's hard. That's a vulnerable place to be. You don't want to. You don't want to know how he feels about
Oh,
you.
you don't want to know, honey.
Speaking of bear without underwear, that one is famously pantsless.
Famously pantsless.
So many good jokes about that. I do think that back to the Toy Story issue. I think I've had a couple other parents who described when their kids see like trust being broken for the first time on screen. It's like really heartbreaking for them. A friend of mine her daughter had an issue with Coco, which involves betrayal. And her
Mhm.
little girl, and also like the underworld,
Why
and
did they make it with water instead of milk? Just messing around.
How could you, Mom? You know I hate my cocoa watery.
You tricked me.
This again. Now I'm really, really devastated. Yeah,
I've never seen.
but it wasn't
Coco.
it's okay. So it's about like this kid goes to the afterlife, like the parallel universe of the underworld, where all these people still exist, but they're in skeleton form. It's very beautiful, but it also kind of creepy, right? Bones fall apart, and they're all like, they're making a lot of hammy jokes with that. But she was not stressed about the skeleton. She was stressed because like somebody betrayed somebody else, which I thought was really interesting. Like of all the emotions that she kind of zeroed in on, it was this guy tricked this other guy into a very serious consequence. But it's kind of like that bear.
It's kind of like that bear. Wes. Never mind.
Do your kids like have teddy bears? There's such a thing about, like the
they call
ultimate toy being a
everything
bear.
stuffies now. Wes is like all-time favorite, but doesn't get like a lot of action most of the time. But it's kind of like the first best, but old news. But has been sewn up several times. Is named Blueberry for long, but Blue Bear is what we call her.
Oh, cute.
And she's blue, and there has been times when I've been like, I've looked it up to try to figure out like if we need to replace this thing. She used to be way more obsessed with it. It doesn't really give a shit anymore. Yeah. But if we had to replace it, it would be impossible. We got it from a friend from England.
Oh my!
Bought it just like at a store. Like it's not like even
a brand name of any kind. Yeah.
So I'm glad that Blue Bear has not been killed yet. But yeah, 80 doesn't really care about stuffies. He has one. There's one that they both like named Barbalina. It's a what are they called? It's like a unicorn squishmallow, I think.
Oh yeah, squishmallow. Do they wrestle over it with like a stereotypical like arm in one hand for each of them and like do a little tug of war over it?
I would say rarely. Wes doesn't really care as much about it now, and so 80 picked it up at the perfect time, really. So he gets the run of the bar, but he doesn't really care about it. It's like just like when Wes is paying any attention to another stuffed animal.
That makes sense.
He's like, oh yeah, I want my stuffy.
I have a really old Pooh Bear stuffy that my grandmother made me from a pattern. So it's kind of like, it's more like the A.A. Milne. I forget who illustrated those. Ernest. Nope. Am I confusing people?
I have no idea who illustrated who.
Who and what now? The original. I'm going to look it up. But it looks more like the original illustrations versus the like Disneyfied version of Pooh Bear. So not very like charismatic. They changed Pooh Bear like in the cartoons to look a little bit more charismatic, like bigger eyes, like kind of softer. But I also think I associate this stuffy with the original Pooh Bear and being hard because my grandmother stuffed it with like asbestos or something. Like it's really crunchy. And every once in a while it falls apart in the armpit and just like toxic waste falls out of it. And
it just off gas.
And we just couldn't sew it up anymore. And I was like, that moment where you throw away a stuffy, it just feels, I don't know. Again, the betrayal. Like I feel like I didn't try hard enough. I didn't get crafty enough to like rewrap this whole thing in like a cool new custom pillowcase or something. But then is it the same Pooh Bear if I make him out of totally new material?
I would say no. I would just throw him in the forest and see if anybody hears it. I have my oldest stuffy is one that I made when I was 6.
Aww.
And his name is Patrick. And which is funny because I have a nephew named Patrick now. But its name is Patrick, and it is horrifying. It is just like huge stitches and like jagged edges, and just looks like, it has legs and arms, but not in the right places. And a weird like trapezoid head, and it's rough looking. Wes does not like it. Wes is like creeped out by it.
Put Patrick away, Dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, Patrick, Adrian says. It's got like, the face is made with like weird patches, like fabric scraps. are like sewn on, so they just looks wicked. Anyway,
Yeah.
and like the stuff.
And you still have it? Like,
yeah.
what? Are you afraid that if you throw it away, it's going to
Yeah.
like rise from the dead and
Absolutely.
come back and haunt your family?
I'm afraid that, yeah, it's a betrayal thing, but more of like I'm scared of it. So I guess if we include him as a bear, which who knows what the fuck he is, I guess I'm going to say he's the
Patrick?
bear I'm scared the most of. What's the bear you're scared most of? Did you answer?
No, I have not. I'm not generally scared of bears. But I did see Cocaine Bear. And that bear was not only angry, but just like
Talking about like projects it's working on a lot.
yeah. So annoying.
Really,
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah, just could not shut up. He's on cocaine, so he's very chatty.
Thank you for laying that out for us. Well, it's because he was on cocaine.
I guess I wouldn't have known about all the projects if he hadn't been.
Right.
I mean, that
exactly.
one was just gross. That one just did really, unfortunately, gross things that it didn't need to do. That no bear would really do.
That it didn't need to do. Oh, come on. Did you really need to do that?
I think there's a creepy bear that I don't understand this kind of world, but it's like Friday at Freddy's. They're animatronic creatures
Mhm, yeah.
meant to be like
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Charles Entertainment. Jeez.
Mhm. And those are pretty damn creepy. Like
Yeah.
animatronic anything, I would say, is some of the most horrifying stuff on the planet.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like they're
No,
they're not very believable. I like AI. I like AI, so
You
know
do?
that about me. Oh, I love it. Oh god, I just want it to take my job. Can you just do this for me? Oh, please.
Where have you been? God, what's taking you so long?
I am tired.
Mm.
Please just do this, AI. Come on, chatbot. Stop talking. Just do it.
Okay, two things.
Wait, what are you, a dentist?
Guess what time it is? Oh God, it's not 2:30.
10:14. I didn't have to guess. I just looked at the clock.
Okay, the illustrator
Mhm.
of Winnie the Pooh and the 8 Million Books was Ernest H. Shepard.
Shepherd.
And-
Ernest H. Christ.
What do you think H stands for? Keith?
I think I said Keith at first.
I did say Keith.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, what's her name? His middle name.
Oh,
Sandra
right.
Boynton.
That's right. Keith. Maybe it's Heath. Or Horatio. Just like Jesus' middle name.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think we knew.
I didn't think we knew. Yeah, I just watched a special on it. On Netflix. It was a 30 for 30 on Netflix, which is weird. Okay, what was the second thing?
I totally fucking forgot.
Oh, was it about teeth? How many fillings do you have?
I have so many fillings. I've gotten fillings as an adult.
I've gotten only fillings as an adult. I didn't get any when I was a kid.
Oh.
I didn't discover candy until I was 19.
I guess I didn't discover joy
Right.
until I was much older. Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe could you get fillings as a kid? Sure. Like you get your adult teeth by the time you're 9 or 10. Olive has
Yeah,
all
that's
her
why
grown
this
teeth.
is like we're on round 1 for these kids right now.
Mm.
For my kids, so it's like we don't even brush them. They're starters. You know what I mean?
No, you
It's
should-
like let's lower expectations here. Don't worry about it. These will fall out anyway.
Sorry. Yeah,
Don't
that
worry.
sounds like a great plan.
Don't worry, these will fall out of your face pretty soon, honey. And you've already got a bunch more packed up into your skull right now.
Mm-hmm. And if they don't fall out, we just tie a string around them and slam the
Yeah,
door.
don't worry, honey. It'll bleed. Don't worry.
Are you looking
I'm not
forward to
looking
that?
No,
That
I'm
should be
not.
fun.
It should be fun. No, I'm ooged out by wiggly teeth, man. Ugh. Yuck.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love kindergarten through 4th grade
I
then.
think I'm just the plan is when she's 6, she's gonna get dentures. She's gonna get them all pulled and put fakies in.
Hmm. That sounds good for pictures. That's important to have all the
'cause
right teeth.
If you think about like braces, yeah, they are gonna be very large. They're gonna be way too big for her face.
Still growing to them though.
Do your teeth get bigger? They must. From 9 to, like let's say from like 10 to 20. I'm sure they must, right? Otherwise,
Really?
no. How would they get bigger? I guess. Do they grow out? Do they grow out, Erica? Do you wear
No.
them down and they grow out? They're not like fingernails.
No.
I clip my
Mm-mm.
teeth a lot though. I should stop doing that if they're not.
Yeah,
gonna come
you
back.
don't. You're not getting more teeth. No one's making more teeth these days.
Oh no. Oh, that was Doritos that they were gonna make more of if I crunched all I wanted. I got confused while I was eating them because I was eating them
I
with
know
my
it's
teeth.
so they're the same shape as teeth. Those
Jay Leno
triangles.
let me down again.
Oh, gee.
Hey, by the way, I wanted to talk about this list. We just looked at a list of celebrities who have written children's books. We were
Yes,
thinking
we
about
did.
because since we've reviewed all of the children's books now.
Yep, I want to see them. I'm going back. I'm going back to your list.
I'm going back to the list too. So we got, of these, I would say the ones, so I'll just read through the list here. Jimmy Fallon, Jamie Lee Curtis, Julianne Moore, Madonna, Kelly Clarkson, BJ Novak, Channing Tatum, LeBron James, Whoopi Goldberg, Pharrell Williams, Lupita Nyong'o, Gabrielle Union, Reese Witherspoon, Ricky Martin, Spike Lee, Jay Leno, Chelsea Clinton, Julie Andrews, Kristen Bell, Jerry Seinfeld, Mario Lopez, and Steve Martin. Is Jerry Seinfeld trying to pick up women or what? You know what I mean? Because remember he dated a 17-year-old when he was in his late 30s.
No, I didn't know that.
Might have married her.
It's the Bee one, I think, because then they made a movie out of it.
Oh, that was a book first?
I'm guessing.
A bee book? That joke doesn't make any sense. A bee book isn't something. A bee movie is something.
Why would you make it out of your Bee material? I feel like we should pick one where expectations are really low and then we get pleasantly surprised. Like Madonna.
Yeah, because
or as I said, Jay Leno.
I don't want to do Jay Leno. I don't want to give him any air. I hate Jay Leno.
Okay.
So I gotta not talk. I can't even. I'll get too mad. I'll say things that I regret.
Uh-huh.
And the motto of this podcast is no regrets. Why didn't you say it with me? Was there
all right, wait.
Or something? No regrets.
We always say together in unison.
In unison before we start and after we end. For real, I would want to read Jamie Lee Curtis's.
Okay.
Like as far as like what I would actually want to read that I think would be good. I would have high expectations for that. I have
the best idea for her to
write. You think it's about yogurt?
I think it's about
pooping?
Halloween.
Oh, about Halloween. Oh, sure. That would be good. Or a fish called Wanda. Which I'm just spitballing. Julie Andrews could do something about the Nazis.
Yep.
I guess she could do a Mary Poppins thing. Might be more appropriate.
I know. There's a little bit more.
We just watched
Halloween
that
way
last
for her.
night.
Did you? The kids enjoy the 3-hour movie?
No, we just watched the first part.
Okay.
Mary Poppins is 3 hours?
I don't know. It's really long.
Is it? I thought
Or
that
maybe I'm thinking of Sound of Music.
Yeah, Sound of Music. Because it takes the hills have to come to life. It takes forever.
Right. Oh my god.
It's not a fast process.
No.
So in this book, there's a pompadour. I'm hard switching back to the book.
Yeah, do it.
And first of all, I think that's a dated reference. It looks like an Elvis thing, and I feel like it's weird when old dated things come in reasonably new books. Actually, I guess I don't know when this is from. Maybe I should look at that before I
think it's
shoot
2010.
my fat face off. 2010? I don't even see.
There's a bear in my chair.
Oh.
It is from
2015.
2015.
Okay, yeah, so it's a weird reference. I feel like, who's that for? But also, it led me to wonder, what was your worst haircut ever? I've known you for quite a while. I have some footage of one that's not great. I was gonna say I have some thoughts about this, but it's
Oh yeah, I do want
more
I want your
accurately.
thoughts. Well, I had a
Just
couple
from
when
that
I was
reflection.
littler, before I knew you, before I moved to Mount Horeb. I had little orphan Annie hair. My mom cut my hair short and then permed it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
was a really
god.
good one. And
What year was
then
that? Like 90?
82.
82. Sorry, I forgot how I was trying to bump you
90s, I
down.
was trying much, much harder.
No, yeah.
I definitely had some bangs at one point. That I think every woman in the 90s,
Sure.
late 80s had the bangs that were sprayed and teased. But I also had a perm in like 6th or 7th grade and then straight bangs. So a
Oh.
perm, long hair,
Would
straight.
you do the bangs up? Like, would you do that thing where you.
I'm sure I tried to do that, but I have the only memory I really have of it is actually my school picture where it was
Right.
just like hanging tight and then hanging tight curls and then straight bangs, kind of like my hair.
Yeah, you were just like describing it
Actually,
on your actual hair.
yeah, God.
Um,
Not the worst, but what do you think? What was
I just have footage of one short haircut that was kind of funny, or like,
Yeah, I did
not
some
sure
short.
why it was
Oh,
funny.
yeah, I did some big like short hair.
I think it was a recent short hair, and it was like kind of in a floppy situation. It may have also been wet, like it may have been, or maybe I don't know. I don't really remember. I don't remember it well. All I remember is that it was shorter than I remember you having hair normally.
I do still want short hair. I love
Yeah, I
it.
was gonna say actually, like going back and thinking about it, it wasn't a bad haircut. It didn't look bad on you. It was just like funny at the time, maybe when I experienced it live, because of the time that it was. I think it was you were ahead of your time, maybe with that haircut.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Because everybody else was still doing like pretty long curly hair, like that was pretty, or like a very occasional pixie cut Abby Ansgard style, but
Yeah, that was
like,
good. She did good.
but that was rare. Like,
Tessa, Abby, they had good hair. Yeah. For that. Jessica Bauer could get away with it. Yeah. What about you?
no, I've always had great haircuts. Just kidding.
Oh, okay.
I have like just a series of bad haircuts. There's somehow like my hair was really straight for a little while, and so it was like this bowl cut type of situation. It was
When
just
you
like,
were little?
when I was like 5 or something.
Yeah. I didn't know you.
Or it was like way brushed out or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was probably more likely. And then
Do you have memories of it, or is this in like looking back in a photo?
looking back in a photo, then I had a long time where it was just like poorly cut by Ron the barber. No offense, Ron. Had a mullet, rat tail at the same time. Situation
Oh, I remember
going
the
on.
rat tail. Yeah.
And I just threw it away a couple years ago, to be honest. And then I had, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's bad, but my general late high school was not good looking necessarily. It was long.
You were trying for funny. Yeah.
Long on the top,
Mm-hmm.
very curly,
Mm-hmm.
and shaved on the side and back, and then dyed colors usually. So it was like, yeah, I was just trying something, but it wasn't. It was like I had the plausible deniability of it, of me knowing it didn't look good. Like it didn't look like good, like nobody else would want it.
I remember when we went to prom and you had that hair and then you like slicked it back. You
Mhm.
probably did this more
In a
than once.
ponytail,
And then
yeah.
you put a ponytail at the top. Oh, it's like you were ahead of your time in terms of man buns. Like, way to go.
Oh, yeah. It was not
Yeah.
attractive. I saw a picture of our prom together recently.
Mhm.
Charlie Brown time.
I know.
I know.
I remember.
Anyways, good times, good times. Did I have any other questions? No, I had nothing else. Do you have anything else about the bear in the chair?
I just thought it was funny to do this, right? As we had talked to Gruffalo not that long ago, it feels like it's in that group of books that are super fun to read out loud, these rhymey, kind of sing-songy books. And I almost felt like you picked it to be like, I got one too. You think the Gruffalo is so great. Here's this one. But it's,
this
it's
is
like
actually
it's
the reason I picked this. One of the reasons I picked this is because I think it's a weird one, and I think it's funny when you get into parenthood and are just given a bunch of books, and then you have no idea what, and then like you discover no one else knows this book. Like this is not a classic, but it's like just a classic to you and your children, and like 9 other people maybe. So like this is from 2015. Like there's no way it's a classic, but it might as, I don't know. I didn't know the ones from the 70s either. Like we read, we read mostly like business magazines when I was a child. So that's why it actually has an inscription I just saw. Baby Chapel, welcome to the family, little one. Sorry about who your dad is.
Oh,
Thanks a lot,
no.
guys. That was a little harsh, but well, that's all.
Time to call them out.
Yeah, we're calling them out. They don't listen. That's all the time we have. Well, that's all we have to say about this book. There's a bear in my chair. If you enjoy the show, well, please rate and review. Please tell somebody that you like about us. And if you don't like it, then, I don't know, tell somebody you hate. That'll really stick it to them. For a transcript of this episode or any episode, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to the address on your screen. And we will send you back a post-it note that just says, I don't have that, okay? Until next time, good night, Mush. Good night, creepy old lady. And good night, book.
The end.